Can I ask everyone to please remain standing and join us in the singing of O Canada?
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all our sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you, Clara. Doesn't she have a beautiful voice? Please be seated. Now, I will share with you the first time Clara sang O Canada, we actually had to have a little step by the podium. Thank you, Clara. It was well done. As we begin our convocation this morning, we would like to first acknowledge that we are in traditional Mi'kmaq territory, Epchilase. I want to offer a very warm welcome to our graduates, family, friends, and special guests joining us here today, along with those tuning in through our live stream, joining us from around the world. Thank you for being a part of this very, very special day as we celebrate the Nova Scotia Community College Shelburne Campus Class of 2018. My name is Mary Thompson, and I am the principal here at NSCC Shelburne, as well as the Burridge Campus in Yarmouth and the Digby Community Learning Center. Now, it's my extreme pleasure to announce and introduce our stage guests. I will ask each person to rise as their name is called, but I will ask that you hold your applause until the entire stage is introduced. Starting on my right in the front row, Carla Wilms, Academic Chair. Dwayne Dakin, Academic Chair. Don Bureau, NSCC President. Jenny Huskelson, Shelburne Alumni. Anna Burke, Vice President Academic. Catherine McLean, Vice President Campuses and Communities. And Rosalind Penfound, Vice President Organizational Development. And in the second row, starting at my far right, we have Jill Provo, Dean of Access and Flexible Learning. Margaret Champion, Dean of School of Health and Human Services. Lucy Canary, Dean of Trades and Technology. Elizabeth Yo, Director of Student Services. Christine Arsenault, Director of Enrollment and Registrar. Rhonda Sweeney, Assistant Registrar. Lise Nickerson, Manager of Administration Services. And Rob Angove, Manager of Student Services. This is a very special day for our graduates. We want to celebrate their success, their hard work, and their dedication in meeting their respective program requirements. You know, it doesn't seem that long ago that you began your college journey. We all remember those first days. You were enthusiastic but a little anxious and maybe a little unsure of how to proceed. But as often happens at Shelburne campus, Everybody wrapped their arms around you, and things started to really move forward. It is with pride today, however, that we watch you cross the stage. We see that enthusiasm, but that anxiety is now replaced with an air of confidence. This makes this day extremely rewarding for me and for our college community here today. Today is the first step in your journey. As you step into the next phase of your life, we're pleased to have been a part of this journey. Your college work here has helped lay a strong foundation for your future. And don't forget, our communities need you and all that you bring. Be active in all that you do. Step up and step forward. Don't sit back. Don't sit on the sidelines and wait to be invited. You've shown you're up to the challenge. Embrace it. See every challenge and make every chance you have to turn a challenge into an opportunity. From our amazing faculty and dedicated staff at our campus to the campuses and colleagues across our province, each of us has had a role to play in supporting your journey. I want to say a special thank you to them. I also now would like to take this opportunity to ask our campus faculty and staff to stand and be recognized. And as many of you will be aware, we had to change our venue this year, and these folks have worked really, really hard to transform this into a great spot for our convocation today. Again, it takes a whole team, and they are amazing. Ultimately, is thanks to the inner strength of each of you graduates that you found within yourselves to balance competing priorities, whether caring for family, holding down a job, lengthy travel, or some health challenges. You still managed to meet your deadlines, stay on top of your workload, make it through late night study sessions, and despite all the stresses and challenges you've encountered, you can now say, I did it. Now at this time, I would also like to acknowledge our student leadership on campus. And I would ask our Student Association President, Cale Mowat, to stand and be acknowledged. Thank you, Cale, for all you did this year. You did great work. Cale now graduates today from our plumbing program. As our president, Don Bureau, has often said, we take the word community in our name, Community College, very seriously. This is a special community, and while we always have our share of challenges along the way, working as a supportive family, it makes the successes at the end of each academic year so very special. Congratulations to the class of 2018. You've accomplished so much, and you should be so very proud. Please know that all your college family here on stage and in the audience is thrilled to see you shine today. And again, to those in the audience, we are so glad that you've taken the time not only to be here today, but to support the graduates both in person and online. Please feel free to take photographs as our graduates receive their credential. In case any family and friends are not able to be here, the ceremony will also be available at a later date on our YouTube channel. So live stream today, in person, or at a later date, we want to share our good news. Now, it's my privilege to invite our President, Don Bureau, to the stage and to address our graduates.
Good morning, everybody. As was mentioned earlier, my name is Don Bureau, and I have the true honor of addressing the graduating class of 2018. In a few minutes, I'll have the privilege of presenting to you your certificate or your diploma. But before I do, I want to share a few words with you, our graduates, on the topic of impact and the importance of having a positive impact on others. And I want to begin by sharing a very humbling story with you. You see, a few years ago when I first became president, I attended a very large international education conference in the US with thousands of delegates from around the world. On the first morning of the conference, I went to have breakfast in a very large ballroom with hundreds and hundreds of round tables. Each table had a beautiful white tablecloth, and at each table there were 8 chairs. I got my breakfast from the buffet, and I went into the large ballroom. I sat at an empty table, and I was having my breakfast, and a gentleman came up to me and said, "Would you mind if I joined you at your table?" I said, "No, absolutely." So he sat directly across from me, and as he sat down, I noticed that his zipper was down. Well, for the next few minutes, I struggled as to what I should do. He was a complete stranger, and I was not quite sure how to approach this particular subject. And as I was pondering my next move, others began to sit at the table. And I thought I lost my opportunity to share with him what I had witnessed, and I knew it wasn't appropriate because I certainly couldn't now shout across the table with everyone at the table. So I thought I had lost my chance to help this poor man out. But I came up with what I thought was a brilliant idea. I thought I would write him a note. So I looked around and I realized I didn't have any paper. But then I realized that around my neck in a little plastic holder was a piece of paper with my name tag. It was a name tag with my name on it. So down below the table, out of the view of anybody else, I quietly took my name tag out, and on my lap, I wrote on the back of the name tag, "Your zipper is down." I folded it and I handed it around to the gentleman. He looked at it. He gave me a very quiet nod of appreciation. He corrected his situation, and he returned my name tag back to me. And very discreetly, under the table by my lap, I put my name tag back into this plastic holder. Well, after breakfast, it was time for networking. And we had a networking session before the first keynote speaker was to speak. And as I went up to individuals at the networking session, I went up to shake their hand, and they say, "My name is Don Bureau." They took one look at me, shook my hand, and they quickly walked away. And this happened over and over and over again. And I was thinking to myself, man, the people at this conference certainly aren't very friendly. Well, after the networking session and before I went to the first speaker's session, I went into the men's room. And sure enough, I looked in the mirror, and there it was in big letters, "Your zipper is down." I put the name tag in backwards. And for the past 30 minutes, I was telling everybody at that conference that their zipper was down. Well, all I wanted to do was to go back to my hotel room and just hide. Better yet, I wanted to get on an airplane and come back to Nova Scotia. But I knew I couldn't do that. So feeling totally and completely embarrassed, I went to the first session. I held my head down, I put my name tag in my pocket, and I sat at the back of the room in the corner. And the first speaker was a wounded veteran from the Afghan war. He had lost one leg, one hand, and he was blinded because of his military vehicle striking a landmine while he was serving in Afghanistan. And his speech that day was on the topic of having a positive impact on others. He was an incredibly gifted and inspirational speaker, and he explained how his life work was now focused on helping others. And as part of his speech, he said, "By the time you finish grade primary, you'll already know many of the important things that you'll need to succeed in life and to be in a position to have a positive impact on other people. In particular, he said you'll know how to share, how to be kind, how to use your imagination, and how not to take yourself too seriously." Well, as I listened to this hero's work and the stories that he told about his work in helping others, I quickly became embarrassed for a very different reason. In fact, I became angry at myself because I forgot one of the golden rules of always taking your work seriously, but never yourself. So I put my name tag back around my neck, and I held my head high for the rest of the conference. And you know, I was recently reminded of this story as I had the opportunity to meet a Canadian hero, an individual who embodies many of these virtues. Because you see, this past year, the Nova Scotia Community College was chosen by the Rick Hansen Foundation to be only the second college in Canada to be a training partner. And many of you would know Rick Hansen. He was born in British Columbia, and as a young, able-bodied athlete, he had won all-star awards in 5 different sports. However, at the age of 15, Rick and a friend were hitchhiking when they were picked up by a person driving a half-ton truck. And like many of us, Rick and his friend jumped in the back of the truck, and 5 minutes later, the truck was involved in an accident. And Rick was thrown from the back of the truck, received a spinal cord injury, and became paralyzed from the waist down. But this adversity did not hold him back, and he became the first student in a wheelchair to graduate from the University of British Columbia with a degree in physical education. And he went on to be a Paralympic athlete, winning 6 medals. In 1985, Rick began his Man in Motion tour, where he wheelchaired over a period of 26 months over 40,000 kilometers through 34 countries before crossing Canada. And as he trekked through many of the poor countries in the world, he was truly inspired to help even more people with disabilities. Because in some of these countries, the definition of a wheelchair is a piece of plywood with roller skate wheels nailed to the bottom, upon which people sit and pull themselves around. Rick returned to Vancouver after raising $26 million for spinal cord research. And like Terry Fox, Rick Hansen is hailed as an international hero, as he's had a positive impact on thousands and thousands of individuals. And to be selected as only the second college in Canada to partner with his foundation has been vitally important to NSCC. Because you see, at our core, we strive to be an accessible community college as a way to help our students overcome all forms of adversity. And as an accessible college, our incredible faculty and staff work very hard every day to meet our students where they are and to reduce all possible barriers. So to that end, a couple of years ago, we launched a campaign of our own. We set a goal to raise $25 million to create bursaries and scholarships and to buy pieces of equipment to help our students overcome any barriers that they face in life. And to date, I'm proud to say that we've raised over $24 million. Yes. And a key group of contributors to that success has been you, our graduates. Because your student associations have pledged $500,000 over the next 5 years on behalf of each and every one of you to the campaign. And I think that deserves a huge applause. So graduates, please know that your very generous legacy gift will make a significant difference in the lives of those students who will come behind you for many years to come and help them make their education even more accessible. And as we look to the future, our ask of you is simple. Please never stop using your education and your many gifts to have a positive impact in helping others overcome adversity in any form as they access a better life. And as I think of being kind and helping others, graduates, whether they are family, friends, or other important individuals like our amazing faculty and staff, there are people joining us here today who've shown you great kindness and have had a positive impact on your life while studying here at the college. So graduates, I have one final assignment for you before you officially complete your program. Would you please think for a moment of that person or persons who've had a positive impact on you, for whom you have deep appreciation, and who have joined us here this morning. I've asked you to think of that person because we have a tradition at NSCC a tradition where I ask the graduating class to stand up and give a wave of appreciation to somebody who's joined us this morning to say thank you for the impact that they've had on your lives. So graduates, please stand and give a wave to somebody in the audience. Thank you, and I'm proud to say that you have now officially completed your program. Well done. And before I conclude, there's one other important group of individuals joining us this morning that I'd like to recognize. For decades, our alumni have been driven by a passion to find creative and entrepreneurial ways to have a positive impact on their communities and to make better lives for those around them by making a better life more accessible. So I want to now acknowledge our alumni who are joining us today. If you are a past graduate of NSCC or any of our predecessor institutions or schools, or a past graduate of CCEDP, would you please now stand to be recognized? So in conclusion, graduates, I want you to promise me that after walking across this stage this morning, that you will please commit to the following. First, if you ever use your name tag to tell somebody their zipper is down, make sure you put it in the right way. It's number one. Number two, never take yourself too seriously as you pay forward the many gifts and abilities that you have. And number three, please be very, very proud of the positive impact that you will have on future Nova Scotia Community College students. Again, congratulations. Thank you for choosing NSCC. And in a phrase, you simply rock. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. I am honored to have the pleasure of announcing this year's graduates from the School of Trades and Technology. Mr. President, I present to you the following candidates who have completed all the requirements for the credentials in the School of Trades and Technology. For the Certificate in Electrical Construction and Industrial, Hannah Bruce, honors. Ian Killam. Olivier LeBlanc, honors. James Robertson, honors. Braden Roy. Taylor Ryer, honors. Jason Teffer, honors. For the information of the audience, those students whose names appear in the program but who are unable to be with us today are automatically admitted to their respective certificates or diplomas. For the ladies and gentlemen, the graduates of the Electrical Construction and Industrial Program. For the certificate in plumbing, Taryn Atwood. Nathan Blanchard. Dawson Donaldson. Jesse Gallagher. Cody McDonald, honors. Ladies and gentlemen, it is tradition in the community college that when a faculty or staff person has a family member graduating, we offer them the opportunity to participate in the ceremony and present the credential. Peter Mowat will now present his son with a certificate in plumbing. Cale Mowat, honors. Nicholas White, plumbing. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduates in plumbing. For the certificate in steam fitting and pipe fitting, Luke Barnes. Thomas Corkum. Robert Martin. Jillian Mosier will now present her brother with a certificate in steam fitting pipe fitting. Ethan McNeil. Thomas Oikel. Matthew Townsend. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduates in steam fitting, pipe fitting. For the Diploma in Ocean Resources, Fisheries, and Aquaculture, Michaela Dory, honors. Guylan Elliott, honors. Foley Voisu. Connor McIntosh, honors. Caitlin Rapp. Riza Rahi Jalvani, honors. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduates in Ocean Resources, Fisheries, and Aquaculture.
Mr. President, I present to you the following candidates who have completed all the requirements for credentials in the School of Health and Human Services. For the Certificate in Continuing Care, Lisa Blades, honors. Summer Brannon. Shania Brown, honors. Danica Campbell Linklater, honors. Taylor Chetwin. Jessica Dyer, honors. Danielle Francis. Hope Golden. Jessica Latham. Kayla Nickerson. Jay Ross, honors. Candace Smith, honors. Susan Thorburn, honors. Julia Waybrat, honors. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduates in continuing care. Mr. President, I present to you the following candidates who have completed all the requirements for the high school diploma for adults. Chelsea Cleveland. Shania Smith, honors. Taylor Sturbridge, honors. Tracy Swim. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduates in the adult learning program. The graduates of the Business Administration Diploma program completed their diplomas through part-time online delivery. They reside in other communities and provinces and are thus unable to be with us today. The graduates of the Library and Information Technology Diploma program completed their diplomas through part-time online delivery. They reside in other communities and provinces and are thus unable to be with us today. The graduates of the Office Administration Certificate program completed their certificates through part-time online delivery. They reside in other communities and provinces and are thus unable to be with us today. And also, the graduates of the Academic and Career Connections program completed their certificates through part-time online delivery. They reside in other communities and provinces and are thus unable to be with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduating class of 2018, Shelburne Campus, Nova Scotia Community College.
Before proceeding to the presentation of the major awards, I'd like to take a moment to recognize the special accomplishments of a number of our graduates. A student success celebration was held last night, and recognition was given to graduates who achieved the highest academic standing in their respective programs. We also presented several awards for other accomplishments by graduating students. I would ask that those graduates please stand and be recognized here this morning. I now have the sincere pleasure of introducing this year's major award winners. Our first two student awards, the Governor General's Academic Medal and the Nova Scotia Community College Gold Medal, acknowledge the highest academic achievement earned by a student. The Governor General's Academic Medal is awarded to a graduating student of a college diploma program who has achieved the highest academic standing. This year's recipient is Megan McLaughlin, Business Administration. Unfortunately, Megan's unable to be with us today, but we'll make sure she receives her award. We now welcome our Vice President Academic, Anna Burke, to the front of the stage to present the Nova Scotia Community College Gold Medal. The Nova Scotia Community College Gold Medal is awarded to a graduating student of a college certificate program who's achieved the highest academic standing. And this year's recipient is Hannah Bruce, Electrical Construction and Industrial. Our next two student awards, the Board of Governors Award and the President's Award, acknowledge academic achievement and contribution to campus and community life. The Board of Governors Award is awarded to a graduating student of a college diploma program who has demonstrated outstanding academic achievement and contributed to campus and/or community activities. This year's recipient is Vanessa Perez, Oceans Resources, Fisheries, and Aquaculture. Unfortunately, Vanessa is unable to be with us today, but again, we'll make sure she receives her award. We now welcome our president, Don Bureau, to the front of the stage to present the President's Award. The President's Award is awarded to a graduating student of a college certificate program who's demonstrated outstanding academic achievement and contributed to campus and/or community activities. And this year's recipient is Cale Mowat, Plumbing. We now welcome Jenny Huskelson, Alumni, to present the Alumni Rising Star Award. The NSCC Alumni Rising Star Award is awarded to a graduating student of any college program who embodies the NSCC alumni tradition of excellence and ambassadorship, and whose extraordinary contributions have inspired a sense of community and pride on campus. This year's recipient is Michaela Dory, Oceans Resources, Fisheries, and Aquaculture. Mr. President and invited guests, I present to you the 2018 award winners for the Shelburne Campus, Nova Scotia Community College. I now have the distinct honor of introducing this year's valedictorian. Cale Mowat was nominated this year as the Shelburne Campus Valedictorian and was chosen to represent the 2018 class. Cale is graduating today from our plumbing program. With his father's encouragement, Cale returned home to Nova Scotia from working in Alberta and enrolled in NSCC's plumbing program. Although nervous at first, he quickly adapted and became involved in student life, forming new friendships and lasting memories. During his time at NSCC, Cale developed leadership skills, became more confident in public speaking abilities, and how to strive for excellence. As he graduates, Cale plans to pursue a career in his field and eventually start his own plumbing business. He also intends to bring his skills to the field of real estate. Please welcome Cale Mowat.
Hello, welcome. Family, friends, faculty and staff of NSCC, ladies, gentlemen, and fellow graduates. I'd like to start by thanking our friends and family for being here. It's wonderful to see so many faces in the audience. Next, I would like to thank and give a big round of applause to our faculty and staff here at Shelburne Campus for everything they've done. I'd like to thank my friends and fellow graduates for making this an enjoyable year. And above all, I'd like to thank my partner and family for helping me stay cool in times of stress. You've helped me to keep on track and strive for a better future for myself. For all your support, thank you. I would not be standing here today if not for you. My journey begins in high school. I attended a private school here in Nova Scotia where I struggled to make passing grades. I was always able to do the work, I just didn't want to, which I later learned to regret. I thought I was a bad student, and when the time rolled around for graduation and post-secondary education, I had no idea what I wanted to do. Everyone around me was telling me that I needed to go to university, and my father, a faculty member, as some of you know, was leaning me towards the college. All I knew was that I wanted to get out of my parents' house. I wanted to be in a band, and I wanted to meet girls. Well, 2 out of 3 of those things happened. I attended a standard university, and after 1 semester, I decided it wasn't for me. And so I moved to Montreal with my band and tried to make it big. That was a flop as well. At this point, I was getting doubtful about life, ambitions, and a career, because nothing seemed to work for me. So in 2009, I moved home, and in the fall, I decided to take another shot at university. But once again, I dropped out. Now, parties got the best of me for that time. After a few years of working off and on and not making ends meet, I got an opportunity to move out to Edmonton and work in construction alongside a couple friends of mine. This was a major turning point in my life because it taught me to be more independent and responsible, and above all, how to work hard. I always worked, I just did the bare minimum, thought that that was fine. But when I got out west, I realized that that just doesn't cut it. I worked, some days until I dropped. And my job was to blow in attic insulation. It was itchy, it was hot, and it was in small spaces, which I don't know if you've seen me, but let's just say it wasn't ideal. The thing that I learned, though, and something that I've always been told, is that if I put my mind to it, I can achieve anything. I can do anything. I moved back home in the summer of 2017, last summer, and sent in my application to NSCC for the plumbing program. And now here I stand. But when classes began last fall, I was nervous. Nervous that I wouldn't make friends, that my courses would be too demanding and difficult, and that once again my drive would waver and I would drop out. But I quickly realized that everyone I met here was very friendly and typically just as nervous as I was. I made friends, and with those friends learned how to conquer all of the obstacles thrown at us, from grading vent pipes to finding something to do for fun in Shelburne. We banded together and flooded the Students' Association to make this year as enjoyable and memorable as possible. And I don't think I'm alone when I say that Shelburne has things to offer. Sometimes you just have to get a little creative. There is a proverb that sums up my experience living in Shelburne. That is that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I was skeptical when I first moved here, but I soon discovered a wealth of natural beauty and friendship, which I will surely miss when I am gone. My experiences up until now have taught me so many important lessons, one of them being that life has its ups and downs. But it's not about the number of times that you fall down. It's about the lessons you learned and the way back up, the journey up. Sometimes we can't do it all on our own, and that's all right. There are so many people around you who are willing to help and be that crutch in times of need. I have found that community college really is just that, a community. From the day I walked in to this final day, I have felt welcome. I have supported my peers, and they have supported me. We are all in this together, and as a team, we can do great things. The approach at NSCC is very hands-on, which is clearly the best way for me to learn. Not only do we study the books and learn from the codes, but we then have the opportunity to use that knowledge immediately in the shops and labs. This hands-on approach makes it easy to transition to the working force, taking great relief off of graduation. And talk about hands-on. In some ways, I feel like we've helped the school just as much as it's helped us. I mean, I'm pretty sure we fixed every toilet and sink in the school. I'm starting to think they break them on purpose. At this point, I've touched on just about everything and practically told you my life story. But don't worry, I am drawing to a conclusion. You see, I've been there, I've done that, traveled a little, worked a lot, and had many good times along the way, maybe even too many. But here I am, graduating from college at 29, and I'm more excited about my future than ever before. We're still young, and we have a lot of life to live. If you are graduating now, that means that there is hope. Many of you came here straight out of high school, some of us a little later, but that does not change the fact that applying to college was probably one of the best decisions you've ever made. It was for me. Now, maybe it's my age, I'm not sure, but standing up here looking at all of you, graduates and achievers, I feel like I understand how a parent must feel right now, in that I am so proud, in that over this past year, you've been my family away from home, and I'm so proud of each and every one of you for sticking it out and making it this far. The only thing left for you all to do is go out and put your well-earned educations to use. Make a living for yourselves, and not just any living, a good one. Find that job that works for you, and work for it. This is the time to get out into the world and create a better future, not just for you, but for the generations that come after you. We live in a place where we can discover who we truly are and go after our dreams. It's up to you to seize the day. Thank you. Congratulations to the graduating class of 2018.
You can stay right here. We got an award for you, so you can stay right here. You'll go to the center, okay? Thanks so much for sharing your story with us today, Cale. I'm now going to bring our principal, Mary Thompson, to the center of the stage to give you your Valedictorian Award.
Wasn't that great? Thank you, Cale. Your leadership has really been something here at the campus. And there were, I should point out that our Student Association received an award for one of their events this year, and we may be small, but it's a mighty campus. Our celebration is now drawing to a close. Graduates, after receiving your credential on the stage, you were presented with an alumni pin. We hope from this moment forward you're going to wear it very proudly. Because today, when you take off your gown, your connection with NSCC doesn't end. Yesterday you were students, today you're graduates. But forever, you're college alumni. Be proud and wear your pin, and please keep in touch. My sincere thanks and appreciation to all that have worked so hard to make this day a very special one, and for all of you joining us here to celebrate our 2018 graduates. Could we have another round of applause for them, please? Now, after our recessional, I would invite everyone to a reception out in our lobby area of the arena. Please join us there to congratulate our NSCC Shelburne graduating class of 2018. We also have a photo booth down here so that you can have some nice, fun pictures. Now, I will ask that everyone please stand and remain standing during the recessional. Our stage guests, led by our president, followed by our faculty and staff and our graduates, will leave the arena. Convocation 2018 has now ended.
my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on. Off from my city, off from my home. We're flying up no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off it. Moving so phenomenally. You're more like the way we rock it, so don't stop.